Most people grow up hearing the same advice: save your money. Save for the future. Save for security. Save for retirement. And while saving is responsible, here's the truth most people never hear. Saving alone will not make you wealthy. Saving protects you. It does not grow you. And if your entire financial strategy is built around saving, you may spend decades feeling disciplined while quietly falling behind. Let's start with something simple. When you save money, you are storing labor. Every dollar in your savings account represents hours you worked. Once that money sits in the bank, it stops working. It becomes idle. Meanwhile, the world keeps moving. Inflation rises. Prices rise. Housing rises. Healthcare rises. Education rises. Your savings rarely rise at the same speed. In the United States, inflation has averaged roughly 3% long-term. Savings accounts often pay less than that. That means your purchasing power declines every single year. You may see the same number in your bank account, but that number buys less. If you had $100,000 sitting in savings 20 years ago and left it untouched, it would not buy today what it bought back then. That is silent erosion. Now look globally. In Argentina, inflation has wiped out savings repeatedly. In Turkey and Venezuela, people who trusted their currency saw life savings collapse. Even in stable countries, inflation quietly eats away at idle cash. Saving alone is not wealth building. It is value preservation at best, and sometimes not even that. Now let's talk about banks. When you deposit money into a bank, the bank does not let it sit there. The bank lends it out. They earn higher interest on loans than they pay you on deposits. They profit from your idle money. You take the risk of inflation. They take the profit spread. This is not evil. This is how banking works. But it means that if you only save, you are participating in the financial system at the lowest level. Now let's compare two people. Person 1 saves $10,000 every year and keeps it in cash. After 10 years, they have $100,000 plus minimal interest. Person 2 saves $10,000 every year and invests it into diversified assets such as index funds, real estate funds, or productive businesses. Over time, their money compounds. After 10 years, the difference can be significant. After 20 years, it becomes dramatic. After 30 years, it can become life-changing. The difference is not discipline. The difference is multiplication. Saving accumulates. Investing multiplies. This is where many people get emotionally stuck. Saving feels safe. Investing feels risky. Savings accounts do not fluctuate daily. Markets do. When markets drop 10%, fear rises. When savings accounts earn 1%, people feel calm. But comfort does not equal growth. Short-term volatility feels dangerous. Long-term stagnation is dangerous. Over decades, broad markets have historically grown despite recessions, wars, political shifts, and economic crises. Meanwhile, cash sitting in low-interest accounts steadily loses purchasing power. Now let's be aggressive. You cannot save your way to financial freedom. You cannot save your way to generational wealth. You cannot save enough to escape the system unless your income is extraordinarily high. If you earn $70,000 per year and save $10,000 annually, that is excellent discipline. But even after 20 years, without investing, you are limited by arithmetic. There is no exponential growth. Wealth requires exponential growth. Exponential growth requires assets. Assets produce income. Assets appreciate. Assets compound. Cash does not. Let's talk about lifestyle inflation. Most people increase income and increase expenses at the same rate. They save a little, but not enough to create real investment momentum. The result is a lifetime of earning without ownership. Ownership is what separates wealth from savings. If you own shares in companies, you participate in corporate profits. If you own rental properties, you participate in housing cash flow. If you own intellectual property, you earn royalties. If you own businesses, you earn enterprise value. Ownership changes the game. Saving alone keeps you outside of that game. Now imagine retirement. If your strategy is purely saving, you need a massive pile of cash to survive decades without income. But if your strategy includes investing, your assets generate returns while you withdraw from them. There is a huge difference between living off stored money and living off producing assets. Stored money shrinks. Producing assets regenerate. Before we continue, if this is shifting your understanding of money, subscribe to the channel. We are building a full education series on how wealth actually works. Share this with someone who believes saving alone is the answer. It might change their financial future. Now let's talk about fear. Many people avoid investing because they fear losing money. But what they do not realize is that inflation guarantees a slow loss if they never invest. Risk is not only volatility. Risk is also stagnation. Risk is not only market crashes. Risk is also decades of underperformance. True wealth building balances safety and growth. You should have emergency savings. You should have liquidity. But beyond that, surplus capital must be deployed. Think of it this way. Savings are your shield. Investments are your sword. You need both. But you do not win battles with a shield alone. Finally, let's clarify something important. Saving is not wrong. Saving is step one. But stopping at step one is the mistake. The real path looks like this: earn income, control expenses, build emergency savings, eliminate toxic debt, then invest consistently, reinvest returns, let compounding work, stay disciplined, ignore noise, continue for decades. That is how wealth is built. Saving alone keeps you safe. Investing moves you forward. Ownership creates power. Compounding creates freedom. If you truly want wealth, you must move beyond storing money and start multiplying it. That is the shift. And that shift changes everything.